What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Shop Talk Tuesday. So guys, if y'all are new to this video series, what this is all about is a commentary based type thing where I pretty much talk throughout most of this video. We're going to do a topic of the day, and sometimes that's about knife making, it's about creating, it's about me in general, or it's about things that are said in the YouTube comment section, on the Facebook page, Instagram, email, things like that. Then we go into kind of what we have working in the background, plus what might be coming up in the videos in the future. And then we go into a viewer's knife section where I show off one of y'all's knives, and then we wrap it up. But for today's topic, this is a personal one because it is about me. And I know that some of y'all might not know much about me, so I figured I would take this time to actually tell y'all a little bit about Eric and what the Rivers Experience is all about. Now, this is take 2 of this because the first one was a little bit emotional. So, it was a little intense, and I had to refilm it. And you'll get why here in a minute whenever we actually get into that part. But what I'm going to do is tell y'all a little bit about myself and how I got so interested in doing what I'm doing and doing things like YouTube and all of that. So we're going to start off with a little history lesson about Eric. Alright, so I grew up in a town called Wichita Falls, Texas. That is where I currently live. And it's a small town. It's one of those towns that's like, you wouldn't even say that it's a small big town or a big small town. We've got about 104,000 people, and it's not small, but it's the only, I guess you could say, main town that's in between 2 metroplexes. So we have OKC, which is Oklahoma City, which is a big area. Then we have Dallas-Fort Worth. We are at the 2-hour mark in between that. So, well, I guess if there's 4 hours to go from Dallas-Fort Worth to OKC, we're at the halfway point. So a lot of people come from all around to shop where we're at. And for a while there, we were voted the most average town in America. The most average town in America. So that's kind of a little interesting fun fact. We are a place that a lot of people try businesses out at, and would probably have the most, or the highest per capita of restaurant to people in like America. You can drive 1 minute in any direction and be at a restaurant parking lot, no matter where you are in this town. That's how many restaurants we have. It's crazy. And none of them are like super crazy fantastic or anything like that. It's just a whole bunch of random restaurants just everywhere. So we never have to worry about where we're going to go eat because we just go that direction. Yeah, we'll eat somewhere in that direction. And then you have 50 choices. So it's kind of interesting there. And we're actually the so we have the largest Air Force training base in America as well. So they train people how to work on airplanes here. They fly planes here, teach them how to do that. It is a very large training base, and it's called Shepherd Air Force Base. If you're in the Air Force, you've probably been there. There's a good chance you have. And so we've got that. But that's a little bit about the town that I grew up in. Now, a little bit more in-depth thing for me. I have a ton of brothers and sisters. Like, a literal ton. My oldest sibling is like 45. My youngest sibling is 10, about to be 11. And there is like a child every 3 years. And this is just on my dad's side. Okay? Just on my dad's side. There's a child like every 3 years from 45 to 10. To give you an idea of how many kids that is a lot. And then On my mom's side, got a bunch of siblings on there, steps and halves and all that stuff. So there's probably like 20 plus of us. It's a lot. And you know, it's crazy. I've got a lot of siblings, a lot of brothers and sisters. And it's pretty cool because even though we are so spread out, because it's everywhere from where I'm at right now all the way to Alabama, we're spread out and sprinkled through Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, all that stuff, and it's pretty cool. But that's a little bit about, you know, my like family stuff, and I'm gonna get a little bit more into a few family things. But growing up, my mom was like the key figure in my life, and she's the one that's always pushed me to do things. And you know, a lot of my drive is from her because she's always pushed through everything, any adversity, everything. So I got a lot of that from her. My hands-on stuff, I got a lot from my stepdad. He was always the guy that anybody in the neighborhood, if they had a question about anything, he was the one that answered it. So if it was a mechanical thing, if it was a how-to thing or any of that stuff, he was the guy that always did that. We had a 69 Chevelle Super Sport on a 72 Nova chassis with a built motor and a huge Wayne supercharger and all that stuff. Picked the front wheels off the ground, everything. It was an absolute beast of a car. We worked on that whenever we were younger. He always had us work on everything that was ours. So if it was our own vehicle, we worked on it. He would show us and point and things like that, but we had to actually get in there and wrench on it. If we did it wrong, well, we learned from it. So we had plenty of those moments. My actual dad, very successful man. He is one of the head franchisee people for Papa John's, and he's the regional VP of operations for like Southeast Texas, Louisiana, and all that stuff. But he owns a whole bunch of them, and I've got other family members that are part of that as well. So it's pretty cool. They hang out with like Shaquille O'Neal and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. But that is that side. Now, when it comes to my like actual, you know, I always tell people something. I always tell people that, you know, you need to use your hands. You need to actually, you know, get into something to where you're going to use your hands. I don't feel like a lot of people do that nowadays. I feel like everybody wants to play video games, or they just want to zone out on their telephones, and they don't get into doing something, and they're so stuck on doing things that are technology based, which is good. We need people that do that, but you also need to have that drive to build something, create something, make something with your hands, because we were given these for a reason, you know. And I feel like a lot of these trades are becoming extinct because people don't want to do the manual labor part of it, and that's a shame. So whenever we get into the more serious part of this, you know, it's with all of that stuff being said. So the reason why I am such a big just supporter of using these guys is because whenever I was about 9 months old, I decided to scare the hell out of my mom and pull myself up on a space heater. If you're too young to know what a space heater is, back in the days, before like central heat and air, there was wall, like little fireplace things that were super, super hot and super, super dangerous. I decided to pull myself up on one when I was learning how to walk, and melted my hands straight to it, and had to have a lot of stuff to keep my hands. So you can see all the way across all of this, and of course this little skin right here, this is a skin graft from my elbow pit area right here. So took skin from here, put it on here because I completely melted through all of that. And then this has a huge scar that comes all the way across it. And the emotional part, the reason why it was emotional for me whenever I tried to do this the first time, was because I'm such a huge advocate for using your hands, because if I would have lost mine, and there was a chance that I could have in that moment, and not had the ability to do any of this, and that terrifies me. So whenever I set out to do all of this, it's because I wanted people to actually take away using your hands to do things. I know a lot of people live vicariously through the YouTubers like me that make things because they might not feel like they can do that, so they want to watch people do it. But it doesn't matter whether you're super successful or not. Find out. You know, this right here is, and whether you're spiritual or not, this is one of God's greatest gifts. Your hands. Because we get to do so much because we have access to this. And I couldn't imagine my life without that. You know, you figure things out, of course, if you've lost your hands or something like that. But for me, I'm going to create things all the time, as often as possible, because I've been at a point where I couldn't use them. And that's horrible. I want to use my hands to create all kinds of things, and I'm going to do it. I like being creative because of that. I like doing all of these things because of that. And that is one of the reasons why I do everything that y'all see on the channel. And one of the reasons why, you've heard me say it multiple times, I really feel like you should just try and do things. And even if you have someone telling you how to do something over and over and over again, until you get to that point to where you swing a hammer, you use a saw, you get steel and do something with it, wood and do something with it, having someone teach you or tell you all of the things isn't really that handy. You know, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but until you know how to wield the knowledge and use the knowledge, it's not very valuable. You know, the moment you decide to take the knowledge and put it into action, then it really becomes something. And yeah, hopefully that's a good takeaway from y'all, or for y'all, from me. And when it comes to the Rivers experience, you know, whenever I first set out to do the channel, I was going to do more family-based thing where, you know, we get the kids involved. I've got a very creative, autistic 10-year-old. He is the smartest, just most creative person that I know. Way more creative than me. And he has been creative since he was very little. And, you know, I was going to do things based around stuff that he does as well. You know, and I've got 2 other children who are super smart and a very creative wife. But one of the hard parts with that is as soon as you start adding kids into the channel, it gets into a weird gray area with YouTube. So can't really have that, especially with the type of things that I make. YouTube can kind of throw you off a little bit and throw you back in the dark corner if you start mixing those things. Whenever they switched up their algorithms and switched up their rules for the community and things like that. So you primarily get to focus on me and my experiences and things that I can do to help y'all learn something. But my goal was never to just teach y'all how to do things. I've always wanted y'all to, you know, take what I'm showing y'all and put it into action and do it. So there you go. That is a little bit, you know, about me and why I've done what I've done to this point. When it comes to like my skills with doing all of these things, I've worked in home, like custom home remodeling and things like that, kitchens, bathrooms. I've done a lot of framework. I've done a lot of everything from framework to sheetrock work to custom textures, paints, glazes, to electrical work, to plumbing, to concrete foundation work, granite countertops and stone work in general, tile, literally all of those things. I've been into woodworking and metalworking for a long time. I went to school for auto body. I was raised in a mechanics type household, so I've been around all of those things, and that kind of has all built up to put me in this position to where I'm at now, knowledge-wise. And again, if I never acted on it, if I never just started making things, all of that knowledge would have went nowhere. You know? If I never picked up the camera and started doing this, I would have never reached all the people that I reach on a daily basis. You know? We are at over 900,000 views on my channel. And of course, just over 12,000 subscribers. But, you know, we'll hit over 1 million views this year. And that is 1 million views in 1 year, which is absolutely awesome. I could have never imagined reaching that many people. So it's pretty awesome. But guys, that's pretty much the end of that section. If y'all have any questions about me, go down the comment section, ask them. If you're part of the Facebook page, you can ask them on there. You can instant message me if you want, or any of that stuff. And if y'all want to know more in-depth things, like I said, comment section, I'll try and answer those either in the comment section or I'll make another video. So there you go. Now, when it comes to what we have working in the background and videos that are coming up, of course, we've got the little EDC build. I've got another little scrap knife that I'm working on right now. This was out of a Save Edge rasp. You can still see the little logo right there. Just a cool little, you know, neck knife style. We'll put a little lanyard on, but that's a pretty cool little guy. And then, of course, the stuff that we have that's coming up, forging wise. And plus, did I remind you about this freaking handle? Oh my gosh. I know y'all have seen this video, but goodness, that is just the most beautiful wood I've ever seen in person. And I'm so happy that I decided to use that wood on this knife because holy crap, that is beautiful. Corey Scott, damn. Damn. You did a good job. So, I'm super excited about the forging aspect of the channel and doing that stuff, so I cannot wait for that part, and I know that y'all can't either, so we're going to be doing that here soon. I'm getting a larger propane tank because the one that I have right now runs out of propane pretty fast, so I'm going to get a propane tank that's twice that size, and then we're going to start doing that stuff. Now, when it comes to the viewers knife section, we're going to do another one by Dave Sizemore, and this one is absolutely awesome. I think y'all are really going to like it, so we're going to go ahead and cut away now. So again, this knife is by Dave Sizemore. The steel is 80 CRV2, that's 3/16 of an inch thick at the spine. It's 6.5 inches overall length with a 3-inch blade, gray EDC size. It's been acid etched and stone washed, and for the scales, they are forced camo G10 scales with neon green G10 liners and black canvas micarta pins with a nickel silver lanyard tube. Really like the orange lanyard, and I really like the titanium bullet that's on there. I need to do more lanyards with different type of beads and things like that. Plus we've got a leather sheath that he did himself. Absolutely turned out awesome. There you go. Well, Dave, awesome job making that knife. It turned out awesome. I like the jimping on the spine. I really need to get one of the checkering files to start doing that on some of my knives. I think I'm going to go ahead and order one within the next couple of days. But guys, y'all tell Dave what y'all think about his knife in the comment section below. I think it turned out awesome, but I know he'd love to hear what y'all think about that. Now guys, if you haven't sent me any submissions for the viewers knife section of these videos, make sure you go ahead and do that. I don't care if it's your first knife, 5th knife, 50th knife, or 100th knife. I would love to see it. Guys, that's pretty much the end of this one. Thank y'all for coming by. If y'all would, give this video a thumbs up, share this video or one of my other videos. And guys, if you haven't yet, bottom corner, hit that subscribe button so you get notified of the stuff that we have that's coming up. And we got a lot that's coming up. Guys, thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all for spending your time with me. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all stay safe out there. I'll catch y'all next time.